What is good, ladies and gents? Welcome to 79, the episode of the XT Skip podcast. I'm your boy, Tom Ziri, and with me, I've got Maxwell. What's good, fam?
Yo. What is up?
Aware, bro. Aware. And this time around, we do not have Kid Kojo with us, but we're still going to be bringing you guys the lovely gaming tidbits and everything that is covered and has been happening during the course of the past week. We hope you guys are well. Please do leave a like and subscribe. And for any newcomers, hello. And this is XT Skip, bringing you the weekly patch notes. So let's get right into it. But before we get started, Max, do you have any admin on your side or updates?
Nah, the only thing I'd like to say is I'd just like to relish in the moment that this is the first time Kojo has missed an episode.
Oh yes, that is true. That is, that's hectic, bro. Fuck.
I'm savoring it.
Oh wow, that's good. Wait, has there never been a? Yeah, actually, you're right.
Yeah, I'm a single one.
I'll be surprised if there's ever an episode that's recorded by just one of us. Like that would be. Whoa.
I don't think that will ever happen.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. But man, big ups to Kojo. It's a family celebration, so good to him. And from my side, I have pretty much put myself so deep into Formula One, the game, not the actual sport itself. The series, Drive to Survive from Netflix, is the reason I am now a Formula One race head.
Is that series the one which focuses on Senna?
It's focusing on every year since 2022. No, not 2022. I lie. Before then, 2018. Yeah, the first season starts there.
I just know there's a documentary on Senna and his accident and how that changed F1.
I should definitely check that out because I know Senna well now through this series. So on that note, with I've signed up for EA RaceNet, which is basically all the forms of EA racing that you can sign up to join communities around the world and race with people around the world, because racing against AI eventually does get boring because it's too easy. So I'm definitely going to start giving this a try. So I'm going to try aim for the Sunday streams, the ones where I stream solo. Be on the lookout for that. Definitely be on the lookout for that.
If you're enjoying if you're enjoying that, you should get into what is that called? The whole GT sports, Gran Turismo sports.
See, my only issue there, I don't think it's an issue, but the only thing about Gran Turismo is I played a lot of Assetto Corsa. Non-Formula One cars, but cars that are still raceable and still follow the same type of format is also pretty dope. And I'm definitely keen to check out the Gran Turismo documentary or series as well. So, it's just with Formula One, with how fast they are compared to like normal cars in Grand Prix. Yeah, I'm just, oh my gosh. And the politics, good Lord. I think that's what sells it for me, is the politics. But like Max also pointed out, definitely be sure to check me on that. I don't have a PlayStation, but if come the time that I do get one, definitely expect that. I'm actually saving up for steering wheel and pedals as we speak. So any sponsors out there who would like to sponsor us, me please, thank you. But now getting into the gaming news. Max, do you have anything, bro?
Yeah, quite a little bit. All right. So we begin with, by the time people see this, it probably will have been confirmed. But anyway, might as well mention it so people know we were ahead of the curve. We begin with rumors circulating that Sony's next state of play will take place on September 24. So take heed. And like I said, by the time this episode has come out, probably A, the state of play would have already happened, or B, it would have been announced, so it wouldn't look like it was anything being ahead of the curve. But that's why I'm stating it now, that this is before anything has been stated. And this is your usual Jeff Grubb rumors. We'll see how it goes. Then next, word is out that supposedly Battlefield 4 will have 4 studios working on it. DICE will develop multiplayer. Motive will tackle single player. Criterion will help in both single and multiplayer play. And Ripple Effect will work on a new experience. So with that said, it will be interesting to see how all of this turns out. If Battlefield 4 is a success, this might be a new model for EA. If it bombs, then I suppose EA is back to scratching their heads, figuring out what to do next. And then next, we talk about Nintendo being Nintendo. They have finally done what we all expected them to do, and that is sue Palworld. This week, they filed a patent infringement lawsuit against Pocket Pair Inc. in the Tokyo District Court. The lawsuit seeks an injunction against infringement and compensation for damages on the ground that Palworld infringes multiple patent rights. It should be noted that this isn't surrounding copyrights, so it feels like Nintendo are really doing the most to stick something against Palworld. And what exactly it is, how can I explain it? With patent rights. Basically, the best current example I can give is, you know that, what was that system called in Middle Earth, that Middle Earth game? The rivalry system?
Yeah, I think it was the rivalry system.
Was it rivalry? I thought they had a different name.
I can't remember. Rivalry sounds right to me.
And neither can I. But for me, rivalry doesn't sound correct. But anyway, that system where the Middle Earth game, which Warner Brothers have, which they want to use for their Wonder Woman game, which they put a patent on it so other developers can't use it. Nintendo has a whole range of patents that they've had over the years. Some which are small, some which are big. But one thing which has been said is that some of those patents are so insignificant that there's a whole broad of games that also use similar patent technology or whatever, but Nintendo doesn't go after them because this is like stuff which is, universal across the gaming sphere. So with Palworld, we'll see in time what exactly Nintendo is citing as being the issue, but they are trying to use that as a way to stick it to Palworld. Hopefully, it doesn't work out the way Nintendo wants it to work out. And also, this should serve as a reminder that companies are not your friends. And I say that because the last couple of weeks, people have been dogpiling on Sony and Microsoft. And of course, rightly so. I think, Tommy, you've seen the memes on Twitter and online where people keep showing those images of the week going up and down for Sony, where one moment we're in shit, one moment we're in peak, one moment we're in shit. Like, oh, Concord released, it was crap, we're in shit. Oh, Astrobot came out, we're doing great. Oh, there's a Horizon remaster, we're doing shit. Oh, the PS5 Pro came out and it's $700, we're doing shit. Oh, the anniversary PS5 Pro came out, we're doing well. Yeah, that whole thing up and down. Basically, that's what people have been making fun of Sony. But I say this all to say Nintendo is no different. Because some people love to keep Nintendo out of a situation who say, oh, Sony and Microsoft should be more like Nintendo. No, Nintendo's a pile of shit, just like Sony's a pile of shit, and just like Microsoft is a pile of shit. They're all piles of shit. But it's just a thing of some are lesser evils than others, but they're all a whole pile of shit. Just because one is a smaller pile of shit than another pile of shit, are you going to eat that smaller pile of shit? No, you're not. You're going to steer away from that pile of shit. So I don't understand why people love dick riding Nintendo so much.
I don't get it either,
But with that said, let's move on to the final bit of news for this week that I have to share. And that is, 2 weeks ago, you remember we mentioned about Concord's director, Ryan Ellis.
Mm-hmm.
Yes? Well, He had announced that the game's imminent hiatus as the studio tried to figure out what's next. Well, that same director this week has stepped down and stepped into an advisory role, while staff within the studio are uncertain as to what will happen next. And they also believe the game won't make a return, and they also believe that mass layoffs are incoming. And this is all, as this has been developing, it is also confirmed that Concord cost over $400 million to make and is Sony's most expensive project.
Jeez.
Yeah, to put that into perspective, somebody on Twitter, I forgot who, put up a tweet showing the budget for other games where it was like, Last of Us was somewhere around 220 million, Last of Us Part 2, that is. Spider-Man 2 was also somewhere around 200 million. Ghost of Tsushima was somewhere around 60 million. The first Spider-Man was somewhere around 80 million. And I'm like, why do they even need to go above 200 million? Like, no game, unless it's something like GTA, should go above 200 million. If a game is a big budget game and it takes several years to make, then yes, it can go above 200. But if a game is niche or it's not a system seller, and I know people are going to argue, but Spider-Man 2 is a system seller, but The Last of Us is a system seller, whatnot, but they're not going to make the type of numbers like something like GTA is going to make. Because I feel like GTA is justified. And there are very, very few other games which are justified to that level. But games should stay below 200 million, in my opinion. And this also connects to Square Enix have been complaining about how their games of late have not been meeting sales expectation. And it's like, what the flip are their expectations? People have been saying like, oh, Square is doing the most because they're thinking their games are going to be hitting Black Myth, Wukong type of numbers. And I'm like, yes, that is part of a problem. But personally, I believe the bigger problem is the budget Square is greenlighting on their games. I think the budgets are ridiculous. And that's what making them saying, okay, like for example, Final Fantasy VII is a big game for them. It's a big IP for them. Well, let me just say the Final Fantasy series is a big IP for them. So they're probably saying, okay, let's greenlight a budget of 150 million. If we can sell 10 or 15 million copies, we've recouped our money. And then instead they sell maybe 5 million or 7 million. And then they're like, oh, that's poor sales. When you've got other games who are hitting 3 million or 2 million, and they are ecstatic about those sales, saying, damn, we did well. But for some weird reason, Square's like, nah, that's not good enough. And for me, it's because their budget is probably stupid. And they need to fix their budget. They need to calm down on their expectations. They need to fix their budgeting. And they need to open up their games to more platforms, which they're already tackling. But more platforms alone, I don't believe is going to fix the issue. The budget also needs to go down. And that's my TED Talk. Tommy, do you have anything you want to share, gaming news-wise?
Nah, if you didn't cover the Pal World one, then I would have. So yeah, all good.
Right.
All right, then moving into the gaming corner, let's talk about the releases of the week. Starting with Funko Fusion, released on PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. Released September 13th of 2024. Currently sitting on Metacritic at a 52. Next up, we have The Plucky Spire, released on PC, PS5, Xbox, and Xbox X, and Nintendo Switch. Released September 17th of 2024. Currently sitting at an 84 on Metacritic. I'm just mentioning the ones on Metacritic that actually have a score. The ones that are TBD, we know that Kojo likes to just mention them, you know, but I'm just like, let's focus on them with ratings so you guys can make better decisions. Sorry, Kojo. Anyways, next up we have UFO 50, released on PC. Just PC only, September 18th on 2024. Well, obviously this year. Sitting at a 91 on Metacritic. Then we have Inotria, The Lost Song, released on PC, PS5, and Xbox X. but the Xbox version is delayed at the moment. There's no confirmed date, but yeah, the game itself has been released September 19th. Next up, we have Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, released on PC, PS5, and Xbox X. Currently, the digital version has been released on September 19th, and the physical editions will be released on November 8th, sitting at an 83 on Metacritic. Next up, we have Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars Reforged. This was released on PC, PS5, Xbox X, and Nintendo Switch, released September 19th, sitting at an 85. And then lastly, we had Frostpunk 2, released on PC, PS5, and Xbox X, coming out on September 20th for PC, but consoles is to be disclosed, sitting at an 86 on Metacritic. And yeah, that's all the releases. Max, do you have any that I may have missed?
Not releases, just gaming in the news. So, you ready for this EA banger?
Okay, I'm keen, I guess.
Did you hear that EA doesn't want to make a Sims 5?
You fucking lying. What?
So, get ready. Get ready for the reason why.
I don't say layoffs, dude.
No. They don't want to make a Sims 5 because they don't want to, quote, undo the decades worth of work, unquote, gamers have poured into their saves of Sim 4.
Oh, okay. I can kind of understand that, but it's still stupid.
People were pissed. Because two things were pointed out when this was stated. The first one was people like, oh, you don't want to undo the decade of work we've put in? So, are you going to undo all of that work 2 decades later, 3 decades later? The longer you take to release another Sim, the more work we've put in. So that argument doesn't make sense. You need to rip off the Band-Aid now.
Yeah,
Then,
I agree.
The other argument which was being made was, if you don't want to undo a decade worth of save data, then allow our save data to carry on into the next Sim, as opposed to making us start from scratch.
People don't understand how difficult that is, though. As someone like myself who works in development, that's very tough. Data migration, and then trying to integrate it into any form of new gaming engine and all that is dude, that's difficult. That's very difficult.
Yeah, no, I get that. And that's where I feel that in that instance, you should at least give something complimentary or something small, like, oh, people who have Sims 4 save data, maybe you start with more currency or you get certain bonuses versus somebody who's starting afresh.
I agree. And then if they're going to go upon the whole thing of like, we don't want to undo all the work people have put in, then allow the people who create mods to create the multiplayer mod that you guys were trying to show us in the next engine that they were making, whatever. Because if they don't, Inzoi is going to take over the simulation gaming sphere, like, completely.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to share.
No way. Thanks, man. All right, then that brings us to the halfway point. If you're enjoying the show so far, please do leave a like and subscribe. And moving on to the content creator news. Right, so FaZe Clan was swatted during a Twitch subathon over the fake report of double murder. Now, this is completely flippin' stupid, but yeah. So anyways, during this subathon, there was a 911 received of a false report of a double murder at the FaZe house. And this happened on September 19th when, the whole entire thing happened. Sirens were blaring out. You can actually hear it in the stream with authorities, yelling through a megaphone, demanding everyone, exit the house with their hands up. That must have been flippin' terrifying. And then next up we have Asmongold saying that Ninja is a bad loser amid the Kai'Sanat feud, which if you do not know about that, so obviously we all know Kaisenat. We know all the hype he brings about every game that he plays, all of the trailers that he makes, for the games that he's going to play and everything. And then Ninja went on to say something along the lines of, if his deal with Mixer had not fallen through and, he just did what he was allowed to do fully, and stay at home and just stream all the time, then, he would be able to put in the crazy work, the hours, the resources, and coming up with authentic dope streams like, Kaisenat, which most people, viewers and Kaisenat, felt that was like a backhanded compliment. And, Kai, yeah, hella backhanded.
I don't even see the compliment in that. I just hear copium.
Good. See, so there you go.
Because my thing is, okay, so why can't you do that now?
Exactly, dude. Exactly. Because like Ninja was even saying, like, with him doing what he did back then with like Drake and everything, he was just like, he can do it and all this type of stuff. It's just with how things shift and change in everything in terms of like the streaming world, it just wasn't up to him. And if he had like more time to put in and do exactly what Kai does, then he would be hitting the same numbers, if not more. And again, most people are just like, hey man, like, are you complimenting a guy or are you just pissed off? Like, what's going on? So yeah, it was a very huge disappointment from most people, especially Kai himself, who actually said like, he looked up to Ninja and really believed that people have their different lanes and shit.
Me, I have a rule of thumb: never look up to another human being.
Same, but I also say that like, never try to match your hero, or like, they say don't meet your heroes, but for me it's like, don't go in the same lane that they're in. Or if you're gonna, obviously always strive to be better than them, regardless, because I mean that's just how it is. Like, if I ever got into Formula One, which I don't think I could ever, but
yeah, made for it. Those are the when it comes to sports, you have to start at like 8 years old, 6 years old.
Yeah, dude, all those go-karting, yeah, it's like, so yeah, it's pretty sad. You guys can obviously go check out more on it, but yeah, flip. Ugh, man, Ninja's such a sore loser. Good lord. Cool. Yeah, moving on. Mr. Beast defends Lunchly and gets immediately called out for Feastables marketing. So, in case you haven't heard, Logan Paul, KSI, and Mr. Beast announced, their new venture into the food markets on September 17th, whereby they introduced Lunchly, which is a direct competitor to Mr. Beast's Lunchables. Lunchly will include the Prime drinks as well as the Lunchables selected foods, all into one lunch pack that they can be used for schools and all this. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole thing of how doctors are still saying that this is just as unhealthy as the Lunchables as well as the Prime, but now with having both of those into one product, it's terrible. But yeah, I'm not going to get too deep into that. But anyways, what's been happening recently is that a lot of people have been criticizing Mr. Beast on pretty much almost pushing the Lunchable side of it more than the Prime hydration part of it. And you can see most of the advertising that Mr. Beast does, whereby Mr. Beast is, again, the face of Lunchly, whereas Logan Paul and KSI are behind him. And people even saying things like how Mr. Beast's hands, as he's holding up the products, are blocking Logan Paul and KSI's faces. Other people obviously had mixed reviews saying, no, KSI and Logan Paul are just short, or it's the camera angle, or this and this and this. They don't think Mr. Beast was actually purposefully, trying to block their faces. And yeah, Mr. Beast has now broken his silence, trying to address the whole entire situation. Saying Lunchable sells hundreds of millions of units and countless people get to eat it. Our goal is to give people a better alternative, yada, yada, yada. This and this. And in no means is it in direct competition to Prime Hydration, which it's teamed up with. So I'm just like, okay, well, then why is it that when you advertise it, it just looks like you're advertising the Feastables completely? Like, whatever happened to selling stuff, for the sake of just trying to team up with people instead of trying to make money more on your side in terms of the profits. But yeah, it's stupid. Then lastly, we have YouTuber Uncle Roger. I don't know if I can even say it like that, dude. Holy flip. Uncle Roger has now broken. Uncle Roger has now broken the world record by gathering 388 people, all dressed like him. I didn't even know that's a thing. Honestly, you can have a Guinness World Record for anything at this point.
Yeah, no, you really can, because apparently they just want money. To break a record, you have to pay them.
Exactly, and that's how they sell books, man. That's literally how Guinness will sell books. So yeah, I mean, if you're into Uncle Roger's content, yeah, he created a community event, and it was trying to be exactly, yeah. And then when the restaurant opened on September 11th, it was a huge gathering of Uncle Rogers, plural. Yeah, all the nieces and nephews meeting up. So it was actually pretty cool. Like, look, I've always had my, not beef or hates on Uncle Roger. It's just, I don't know, man. If you will purposefully stereotype your culture, whether it be voice-wise, accent-wise, or whatever, I'm kind of like a bit, I find that an ick, to be honest. But hey, man, it is what it is. He has a great community. Big ups to Uncle Roger. I'm happy. So yeah,
he has been criticized about that, where other Asians have also complained about that, and he has addressed it. But let me not get into the nitty gritty of that. If people are interested in that, they can look it up for themselves.
Yeah, because I mean, that flipping other guy, like, who does the whole emotional damage, it's the same shit. Like, he's doing the exact same thing. So
yeah, but then I feel like it's part of comedy. Like, if you look at let me not say any. Most comedians, they fall on stereotypes to do their comedy. Whether it's black comedians using black stereotypes, whether it's Asian comedians using Asian stereotypes, doesn't matter. Like, even black comedians from America using African American stereotypes. But personally, I don't like the term African American. They're not African, they're black. And then also you see African comedians, doing the accent stuff themselves. Like, for example, ones who have lived in the UK, and then obviously their roots are back in Africa, but they've grown up their entire life in the UK, but then they're still doing the African accents.
What's that guy's name? Something, that comedian, like Black Man. Is his actual name? Surname Black Man? I don't know. Flip.
What, the one?
But yeah, no, I get what you mean. No, is he in Sidemen? Is he?
No, I don't think he's in Sidemen, but he's friends with who's that guy who supports Arsenal, the chubby guy?
Drewski.
No, not Drewski. He's an Arsenal supporter. He usually does football content. What was his name? His name Chubbs? Troops? What? You
mean Chunks in Philly?
Yeah, I think it was Chunks. Yeah, and yeah, there's Philly. And then don't they have a friend whose nickname is like
Mike?
Blackman?
I know. Okay, so we're all speaking about the exact same person. Yes, we all speak about the exact same person. I also think it's Black Man. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, then that's perfect. I'm glad we're on the same page. But yes. All right. Do you have any content creator stuff from your side, bro?
Yeah, just one for those who care. The VTuber Ironmouse, her main YouTube channel has been terminated.
Oh, damn. Okay, I remember like they had been banned, but I didn't think it was going to end up as an actual termination.
Yes, so she announced on Twitter that her legal team is currently working on the matter to resolve things. But how this came to be was apparently some unknown entity was falsely copy striking her video or his video or their videos. We don't know who or what Ironmouse is because it's a VTuber. but they were falsely copywriting the videos to get personal information of Ironmouse. And then I don't know how, but all of those copyright strikes have built up to now the main channel being terminated by YouTube.
Yeah, I'm keen to know what it's actually going to be about, because I mean, the last we mentioned it was just a ban for now, but flip.
Yeah, no, we'll see what comes out of it.
I was going to say the godfather of VTubing, but the godparent, I guess. I don't know. All right.
Bro, I didn't even know this person existed until the Game Awards.
Now, for me, like when VTubing became a famous thing, I kept wondering, like, where did this stem from? And then everyone and their mother mentioned Ironmouse, and I was like, oh, okay, well.
For me, there are niches which I just completely ignore. VTubing, I completely ignore. Mukbangs, I completely ignore. Like, those family-run channels, I completely ignore. There are certain sections of YouTube which I just hear about, and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, I don't care.
Dude, in the midst of me creating X2Skip's Twitch account, I realized that there's actually a whole community of furries who stream.
Oh, no, furries is a whole other category which I also just ignore.
Bro, I'm just, I don't know, man. To each their own.
Precisely.
But moving on to the eSports side of it, I only have one thing, and Sentinel fans.
Wait.
Yes.
Let's circle back a little bit before we get into the eSports part. You maybe can answer this question, and if you can, maybe one of the listeners can put a comment and give their own take on this question, which I've had for the last couple of days. So it occurred to me with all this furry thing, right? So people who like animals in animated cartoons, like animals with human features and stuff like that, cool. We call them furries, right?
There's different sides to it. From what I've been told.
I'm generalizing big time. I don't want to get into the minutia of every little thing. That's not the point of this. I'm using it as an entry point. So, what next, I wonder, is what about people who like mechanical stuff which are given human features, like Transformers? What are those people called?
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yes, okay, I see what you're saying, because it's in the same way that, like, there's a whole community on Reddit that likes xenomorphs, like, you know, your alien from Alien vs Predator.
That is weird.
And they gave the xenomorph titties and a vagina, which
that part I'm not surprised. Every single time you have something which is like there's a male version, they probably also created female versions of Predator as well. What are they called?
I don't know. I don't know what they're called. I don't know.
But no, the whole thing of giving some fantasy creature genitalia and titties is normal. It's very normal.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, for me, I think what the difference would be is that you get something. No, but Ethereum is something different. So furries, furries are usually the ones who will always state that they are furries, in the sense that, Ethereum is a person who believes that they're not completely human and instead literally identifies a species of a non-human animal. Whereas furries believe that, you know, furries are the type who actually see the animal having human-like features. So that's what I've been told. I was once corrected and I was like, okay, well, that person just exposed themselves, so that's cool. But thank you for the knowledge. I will not make fun of furries too much. Therians, I will make fun of 100%. I'm sorry. I know we're all inclusive here and whatnot, but personally, as Tamziri, like Therians freak me out.
When it comes to inclusivity, I'm all about do whatever the damn hell you please, but expect me to make fun of you.
100%. Like, yeah, absolutely.
Like, as long as you're not negatively impacting another human being's quality of life, I feel like people can do whatever they so damn well please. But that also means I can as well make fun of you as I please.
Yeah, it's only fair. Well,
exactly.
I mean, yeah.
Let us all do our own things. As long as you're not attacking me and as long as I'm not attacking you, it's all fair game.
So yeah, that's all I know, man. Obviously, in the comments, you guys can tell us otherwise. Educate us, if you will.
Probably trigger a few people.
100%. But yeah, flipping, yeah. Is that all you got, bro?
Yes, it is. We can go into eSports.
All right. So, Sentinel fans, you guys must have been on a whole roller coaster of emotions. As Tyson, aka 10Z, I'm not gonna butcher the surname, and Gustavo Rossi, aka Sacy, both announced their retirements back to back on September 14th and 15th, respectively, leaving the roster in Valorant with 2 spots to fill in the off-season roster mania. And yeah, obviously a lot of people have been asking 10Z, what is he going to do? Is he ever going to come back to, competitive Valorant? And he had mentioned, post the announcement of his retirement in a stream, saying that though he may be retired right now, in the near future, you may see him on the big stage again. So big ups to you guys. You had a dip in sadness and now, hey, everything's feeling a bit nice. And he said, and I quote, "I did say that I'm, retired currently, but just let it be known that maybe one day I might come back for a short period of time." So who knows? From what I've known about most esports people is they will eventually get bored of how easy it is to go against most players, in the game that they play and miss that like pro level gameplay and the rush and the time crunch as well as the attention, the applause. It eventually hits, bro. I've always seen like esports champs coming back some way or some form. So yeah, that's pretty much it on the esports side. Max, anything from your side?
That's some negative, brother.
All right. But yeah, hopefully in the next episode, Kojo will be bringing you guys some more juiciness in terms of gaming corner as well as esports and content creator side. But as for this episode, thank you so much for listening. We do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And tune in on our streams every Sunday. And yeah, thanks Max for joining. And we'll check you guys in the next episode. Stay good, stay healthy, and keep your wireless headsets charged. Can't flip and tell you how much that is important sometimes. But anyways, cheerio.